So keep it tuned here. There's a lot to come. For Transposition Sports, I'm Carly Chardonnay-Webb.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we appreciate you there, Carly. All right. Now, I believe we have Miss Stephanie Helms to wrap us up. So I'm gonna hand things off to you, Steph.
Wrap you up, tie a bow on it, whatever. We got some stuff coming along. We're going to have a little bit of a story from my neighboring state. Here I am sitting on Cape Elizabeth looking up the Portland Ship Channel towards Portland, Maine. And right next door, we have a story that broke, another sports story, a story that broke on the 20th, I believe, and covered beautifully by New Hampshire Public Radio. Any of you folks in New Hampshire, please support them. I'm just going to roll right into it. It's about a kid. It's about a kid who grew up playing soccer. It's about a kid who grew up playing soccer and in her very young days realized she was trans. And let's just hear the story here. Let me just go to the thing. Here we go. Let's just have a listen here.
It's one of the pending in the State House that could limit the rights of young trans people. It's not clear exactly how many students could be affected if the change goes forward, but one young athlete in Plymouth says it would be devastating, cutting her off from her greatest passion and her friends. NHPR's Paul Kuno-Booth has the story.
Where are your shoes?
Not on my feet.
Well, why don't you solve that?
It's a Monday afternoon in March, and 15-year-old Parker Terrell is looking around for her cleats.
They might be in the garage because they smell terrible.
They don't smell that bad.
Not as bad as Xander's.
By the time they turn up, she's already got her sneakers on, so she just heads outside and starts kicking the ball around.
I don't think there's ever really been a point where I didn't want to do soccer. The moment I started playing it, I just wanted to keep going.
Parker's been playing.
Look at this kid. She's a kid. She wants to play with her friends.
Parker's been playing soccer since she was 4, and these days her life revolves around the sport. During the fall season, she's at practice every day after school and squeezing in homework at night after away games. There's indoor soccer in the winter and summer training camp in August.
It feels very freeing and just like I don't know how else to describe it other than like an escape from having to think about other things. Like all I have to be focused on is the game itself.
And all Parker's mom has to be focused on is making sure Parker gets to practice and all of that stuff. I'm sure you folks are familiar with the phenomenon with soccer moms, or in my case, in my sport, opti moms, we call them. The family following around, get in the car, let's go, etc. and so forth. All of that. Like, seems pretty all-American, doesn't it?
And just having fun and doing good while playing.
Last fall, Parker was thrilled to make the varsity team as a freshman at Plymouth Regional High. The team didn't win any games, but they played hard. Parker's photo sometimes appeared in the local paper.
I vaguely remember this one.
It's a photo of her in midair, leaping to take the ball away from an opponent. It caught her some flack from her coach.
He tells me to not jump at the ball, and then they took a picture of me jumping at the ball and put it in the newspaper. So.
Teaching moment. I'll bet she got a ration of shit from her coach. Hey, I thought I told you. Yeah.
Can't pretend I never did that now.
Growing up, Parker played on boys' teams, but she often felt isolated, like she didn't fit in.
Those boys always pushed me around more and were more aggressive and cold and rude towards me.
Eventually, Parker realized she was trans. She began transitioning in middle school and joined the girls' team in 8th grade. It all went pretty smoothly. Her coach, the school, and her friends were all supportive.
The year that I came back as a girl, like, all of my friends immediately accepted it. They had questions, because it's not something that they were used to. But it's not like they were discriminating or doing anything like that.
Being around people who accepted her gave her more confidence and made soccer a lot more fun. Now she dreams of getting a scholarship to keep playing soccer in college and someday even turning pro. But lately, she's been worried she'll be forced to give up the sport before she gets the chance.
Because why? Because she's a trans kid. She just wants to play, but a bunch of people have their panties in a twist about her just playing. Scroll down here a little bit, and there she is, just playing.
Republicans, who hold a slim majority at the New Hampshire State House, are considering banning transgender girls from competing on the teams that align with their gender identity. Instead, they'd be limited to teams that match the sex listed on their original birth certificate. Parker says learning about that bill felt like a slap in the face.
It would disconnect me from so many of my friends, from something that I'm very passionate about, and something that just brings me a lot of joy in my life.
Disconnecting me from my friends, from things I am passionate about. That's what these bills are all about. Disconnecting us from the world, from our friends, from the things that we're passionate about. Because we're not like you. We're different.
In my life.
The bill is part of a wave of legislation here and around the country targeting the rights of trans youth. New Hampshire Republicans have also sought to limit what bathrooms trans students can use and the kind of health care they can receive. In debates over school sports, Republican lawmakers have claimed it's unfair to let trans girls compete and portrayed them as a threat to other girls' safety. Those ideas are rejected by leading medical groups who say it's not clear trans athletes have an inherent advantage and warn it's discriminatory to exclude kids from the various benefits of participating in sports just because they're trans.
Which is why principals associations throughout the country for scholastic sports, prior college, are keen on participation and making participation the primary goal because of the purported values of teamwork and all of that stuff. And right off the bat, you've got lawmakers saying this kid is cheating.
The New Hampshire Interscholastic Athletic Association, which oversees high school sports, also supports the right of trans athletes to compete in accordance with their gender identity. Parker says it's been frustrating to hear how politicians talk about the issue. She says her athletic talent has nothing to do with gender.
I'm a good soccer player because I've been playing since I was 4. It's not a gender advantage. It's a commitment thing. I've been playing for years.
She feels like politicians are making decisions about her without bothering to learn about her experience.
They're talking about me without knowing what's going on, or even knowing any other trans person. They're just making decisions, uneducated.
Parker's parents, meanwhile, are watching the political climate anxiously. They say soccer has helped her grow as a person. They don't want that taken away from her. And it goes beyond sports. Parker's receiving gender-affirming hormone therapy, which some New Hampshire Republicans have pushed to restrict. Her family's roots are firmly planted in New Hampshire. Parker's dad is on the Plymouth Select Board. Her mom serves on the boards of local nonprofits. Parker's lived around here her whole life. But if New Hampshire passes laws that make it impossible for her to be who she is, her parents say they might have to move to another state.
This isn't just this kid, it's her whole damn family.
It's not something Parker likes to think about.
I really just don't want to move out of New Hampshire. Like, this is my home. I was born here, I was raised here, and if they pass laws like this, it's also making me worry about what's going to stop them from passing other ones that are worse, that take away me being able to use the girls' locker room or the girls' bathroom in public places.
For the most part, Parker tries to tune out the debates happening in Concord. She'd rather just focus on things like soccer.
I kicked it too hard.
It's no fun when you can't find the ball.
It's right there.
After all, she has goals for next year.
Stay a starter, stay on varsity, play my hardest, score goals as much as I can, every game if possible, especially because I get ice cream when I score, so that's good.
We have a standing deal in the house that if you score a goal, you earn an ice cream.
I have 2 stored up in the bank right now.
I paid you back for one yesterday.
Oh,
you
yeah,
only
you did.
have one left.
Yeah, okay, I have 1 stored up in the bank right now.
She's hoping it won't be the last. Paul Kuno Booth in HPR News.
Parker's a heck of a kid. She's got a wonderful family. She's got wonderful teammates. And she's got a legislature that wants to see all of that disappear in New Hampshire, the state right next to me. I don't understand why some lawyer or accountant or car salesman thinks that they know better for other people's families than other people's families know for themselves. You know, the state motto of New Hampshire is live free or die. And it does seem like some New Hampshire legislators would like to say, go ahead and die. You ain't living free here. Maybe we can change that. Maybe we can change some minds. Maybe Parker can play. You know, Carly was talking about how these decisions get made at the sports federation level. And it's as political as state legislatures and the halls of Congress. It's very, very political. National governing bodies have debates about this stuff and have had for a very long time. I mean, I've been in the room for some of them. They're tough issues. But I prefer those issues get debated within the sport and not played out in the public sphere and not have laws passed that tell the sporting bodies what to do.